In our session yesterday afternoon on international partnerships, I offered an update on how the United States is leading the world in responding to the Ebola outbreak in Africa, sending $375 million in aid so far to help stop and contain the crisis at its source, and we've done great. I was with the president of a couple of presidents came over, by the way, from African nations, and they were so happy with what we did. But where it's unfair is we gave $375 million. The rest of the world gave essentially nothing, maybe a couple of bucks, but nothing. And they were all saying, thank you so much. And I think they've done a good job. It's a terrible thing. Ebola is a terrible thing. That's an unbelievable one. Fortunately, it's not like COVID where it's that easy to spread around, but it's rough, and we've done a good job. We've moved people to certain quarantines, certain locations. But today we also had excellent meetings on the economy and artificial intelligence, which is amazing what's going on with that. It's going to be the biggest thing ever. We have to be very careful with it. It's both great and could be bad. We have to be careful with it, but we're leading China, we're leading the world on that. We're allowing them to do their own electric plants because they need, as an example, those buildings are so big, and they're not taking the community's electricity. I gave them the right, it's my idea, I gave them the right to build electric plants.
Something else that I know is concerning people, because it's on the news, is Ebola. Our number one obligation, we're involved in foreign policy, but even our foreign policy, the number one priority of our foreign policy is to protect the American people. We cannot and will not allow any cases of Ebola to enter the United States. And so the State Department and other agencies represented here, the Centers for Disease Control, HHS, others, are working very, very hard to contain this crisis to the countries where it's currently located, particularly the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And so we've surged assistance to make sure that is being contained there. And obviously, multiple agencies involved here are also very involved in tracking people, just to make sure that nobody comes into this country that has Ebola and creates a problem for us. And we feel like we've got good efforts in place to do that, and Americans should feel assured that the President and his administration is doing everything.
As I talk to the country this evening, we are screening every day any visitor who comes to Kenya. All our borders are on high alert. All our borders, land borders, air borders, are already activated. There is surveillance, there is screening. On average, we screen close to 3,000 people every day who either come to Kenya or are in transit, to make sure that those who show symptoms, we quarantine them, we isolate them, test them. Fortunately for our country, not a single person tested has tested positive for Ebola. And I want to ask leaders and citizens who have any doubt on the level of preparedness by the government of Kenya, that they should not have any such doubt. Our partnership with our friends, the American government, is a partnership that is mutually beneficial to us and to them. When President Trump asked the government of Kenya to support them by having a center in Laikipia Air Base, I gave the okay because it was an agreement and a partnership with friends who have worked with Kenya for 30, 40 years. The American government has supported us. They have deployed huge resources in Kenya to work with us on HIV/AIDS, to work with us on other diseases. They worked with us on Ebola. In fact, KEMRI was one of the institutions that worked on research on the vaccines for COVID, because we have a solid partnership with America and other partners. So the facility that is at Laikipia Air Base is not a facility different from all the other facilities that we have across Kenya. We have 23 other facilities set up in Kenyatta Hospital, in the police hospital in Nairobi, in Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital in Eldoret, in Kenyatta Hospital in Thika, in Alupe Hospital in Busia, and in many other areas. And these facilities are meant to make sure that there is proper screening, and if there is any positive identification of people who have Ebola, then immediately they are isolated, they are treated, so that we avoid any spread of the disease. So I want to ask those who are questioning our preparedness or our preparing to make sure that we deal with a challenge, if ever it gets to our country. What are they telling us? They are telling us we should not prepare. Are they telling us we should not be ready? And the fact that we could end up with a case is not far-fetched. We have security people serving in Congo DRC. We have thousands upon thousands of Kenyans in DRC. If for whatever reason they were to